Welcome back to Hot Takes, everybody. It's me and the Yeti today in this weird factory that looks like something out of an Idris Elba TV show. Also known as Luther. Doesn't it look like a Luther building from the outside with Doogie diving off it?
What, into a lava pit?
Yeah, very
odd. Don't know if that's been in Luther just yet.
Soon come though. And this one was sent in by Henry Jamieson. He says, Marcus Rashford will get the golden boot this season in the Premier League. Go.
Stupid, silly and idiotic to suggest. Marcus Rashford, still very young. His best ever tally of 10 Premier League goals was just last season. You're essentially saying he's got to double that and some to try and do well. We've got some fantastic strikers this year. Aubameyang, Harry Kane, Tammy Abraham.
Oh.
Well, we won't say that. But anyway, if they are fit, they're 100% going to get over 20 goals, the pair of them. So you're saying Marcus Rashford essentially has to double what he was doing last season, whilst not necessarily playing striker throughout the whole of the season where he's having to share it with Martial. That's a big ask for such a youngster.
Yeah, I agree. Don't think he's going to get the golden boot. I think he's going to have a much better season than he had last season. He'll be happy. 15 to 20. I think about a 17 mark would be good for Marcus Rashford this season.
Very good.
Given that he's also taking penalties. Let's not forget he took them off Paul Pogba, and I think Pogba got 7 penalties last season in the league, something like that. So add that on top of his 10 goals, maybe a bit of improvement, up towards the 20 mark potentially, but come on. I'm looking at Aubameyang and Kane.
Goal contributions.
Forget your goal contributions, it's top goal scorer we're talking about here. I'm looking at Aubameyang and Kane getting closer to 30 this season.
Who else is there?
Salah? I also think Raheem Sterling will really trouble the golden boot this season.
He's already got 3.
I don't think Aguero will quite get there because I think he's going to play a more rotated role with Gabby Jesus. But Raheem Sterling, Kane, Aubameyang, I'm looking at. Salah as well. I'm looking at top ends of the 20s, maybe 30s. There's no way Rashford trebles his output from last season.
Yes. Give it a few more years where he's played in the Premier League as the number 9, as the front man for United. And who knows? We may see it. As the squad evolves as well and improves around him and he gets better quality chances, then we'll see that improve.
We forgot one player as well. Timu Pukki. You know, see if he can get that.
100%.
See if he can get that big 5-goal mark this season.
Brilliant.
Fraud. The next hot take was sent in by Molly. He says, Trent Alexander-Arnold greater than symbol any other right back in world football. What are you saying?
Jesus Christ. I mean, he is very, very good at such a young age as well. And maybe in a few years' time, I would say 100%. However, there are some people who have been doing it for a little bit longer. Carvajal, I know last season he wasn't so good and he has suffered with injuries, but he is very, very good. Cancelo, who's moved to City, attacking-wise, fantastic. Defensively, not so much. But he is up there. I would say top 3. Top 3.
Okay, so for me, he's number 2. I think number 1 has to be Joshua Kimmich. Joshua Kimmich has been doing it for a longer period of time. He's been winning league titles for a more consistent period of time, although given it is in the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. And he's also, we talk about Trent being a fantastic player going forward, and he absolutely is. I think he got 13 assists last season, which is a massive amount, 12 or 13. Kimmich, 14 assists. And okay, Bayern Munich do tend to blow some teams away in the Bundesliga, but Liverpool are doing that last season. I just think Kimmich at the moment has it because he's been doing it over that longer period of time. In 4 years' time, because there's a 4-year age gap between these two, in 4 years' time, Trent Alexander-Arnold will be better than Kimmich is now. So Trent, for me, second best in the world and soon to be the best by an absolute distance too.
Especially sometimes defensively, he can be a little bit suspect, especially when he comes up against a very good
I think that's
winger.
harsh.
He can be. He's sometimes the player teams target against when they're playing against Liverpool. He can sometimes go towards the ball and get attracted to the play rather than being a bit smarter and dropping back.
Yeah.
But as you said, over a few more years, when he learns that, and he 100% will learn that, he'll 100% being sitting up there as the number 1 right back. Just think about that England back line, mate. Harry Maguire, Trent Alexander-Arnold, John Stones. Who's left back? Not really sure. Ryan Sessegnon.
Danny Rose.
Danny Rose.
Wan-Bissaka can't even get in the team.
Oh, damn.
That was crazy. What was that? Damn. That's like a meme reaction.
I know, but legit, I completely forgot about Wan-Bissaka. Like, that's mental if he can't get into the England squad.
Yeah, but Trent's there.
Can we play him left back?
No. Throwing down to the basement that looks more like a living room to everybody involved, in my opinion, where we find James Wayne, who's got a particularly spicy one today that Zach's not happy about.
So I've been drafted in to do my own personal hot take, not on my own request, because I have apparently a controversial opinion that VAR is boring. Apparently this is going to be foreshadowing, because Zach counters this later, because he's going to be like, oh, but it's all the right decisions, blah, blah, blah. It's because he's a narc, isn't it, Zach? You love your rules and you love being told off about them. Now, why I think VAR is boring, or will be boring, is for the fans in the stadium. I think there's too much nitpicking in terms of the rules, there's too many delays, or there will be. I'll be happily proven wrong. I think it's a good thing in general. Let me first say that. I think it's a good thing in general. I think it will be beneficial for the Premier League, and it will be beneficial for football in general, because everyone wants the right decisions to be had. But it's easier, it's detrimental for the entertainment of the people within the stadium, purely for the fact that if you've paid a ticket to watch a game, you want to go there to watch your team perform well or badly. I mean, lots of people go watch their team and they know they're not going to be that good, but they still watch them anyway. And the excitement is that if your team scores a goal, you celebrate. Now, there's going to get to a point, I think, within the Premier League season where people are, you know, if there's a potential offside, whatever, they'll refrain from celebrating that initial goal. And there'll be a kind of delay, because in the City game, which I'm basing this off, the third goal, the one that could have been called off again, the lob by Raheem Sterling, was very close to being offside once again. And City fans refrained from celebrating because of the first instance of them having a goal called off. And that's not how football should be. Fair enough, you celebrate that initial thing, and then if the linesman's called it off, that's it, everyone goes, oh. But people are now scared to celebrate a goal, which is my first reason I think it will dampen the Premier League's excitement within the stadiums. The second's a delay, and the delay will get fixed over time. I know that it's inevitability because it's such a new thing, but in sports like cricket and tennis, they have a review system. You ask for the review. It's not there constantly because they know how many delays that will cause. In the Premier League, it's a free-for-all. Any decision can get called at any moment and there will be a delay for 1, 2, 3 minutes. And as a fan in the stadium, you're sat there, you don't know what's going on, you can't see it on the screens, which also I think would help a lot if they could see it on the screens, just to clarify the situation to the fans. Look, I don't think VAR is a horrendous idea. I just think for this Premier League season, it will dampen the experience that people are paying for within the stadiums with the club that they support. Let's see Zach try and counter it, because I don't really know what he says, but he loves his rules. As I said, big narc.
We're not even going to bother with a personal hot take this week because Jalab here is raging at Wayno. This has been going back and forth in the FD WhatsApp group chat all week. Take the floor, mate.
James Wayne, mate. James Wayne. Listen, VAR is good. That's it. That's literally it. Now, James, mate, I understand what you mean by that taking away some of the fun. However, if anything, it adds more fun. The little bit of stoppage where fans are waiting to see whether a goal has been allowed, or whether someone's going to be sent off, or whether a penalty is going to be given, that little bit of intense 30 to sometimes 60 seconds is quality. It can be improved in the stadiums, and it is being improved in the stadiums, but us sat at home watching those replays, waiting for the referee to do the and then pointing to the penalty spot is brilliant. And hearing the fans react essentially like they've scored a goal when they get the decision is also adding some fun. Okay, you're not going to be getting the exact same. However, you can't moan about players diving and then when they bring something in to fix it, moan about that as well. You can't have your cake and eat it. Deal with it.
Vote in the poll. Who do you agree with, James or Zach? Right now.
VAR. Decision pending. Decision pending. Decision pending. Decision pending.
Well, that was entertaining, wasn't it?
So that's it for yet another action-packed hot takes. I've gone very Devonshire for this outboard, haven't I? Either way, make sure you like the video, subscribe. What else can the people watch?
Squad Goals over on Squad Goals, where we play FIFA. We've even played a bit of GTA. We just like to play some video games, innit? And we're well funny. Come over there and subscribe. I love you. Bye.